It's Tracy Campbell again here on Girlfriend Quest. Join you once again as I set my stream up and fiddle with my audio and whatnot. Here I am once again with Ace Attorney Chronological, our recap of the Ace Attorney series in chronological order. Oh wow, has it already immediately crashed before we even finish setting up the stream? That's simply amazing. Well, no one's joined us right yet anyway, so we have enough time to reset. Don't worry. Anyway, when this game isn't breaking, as it is prone to do... Oh, that's Alexis in the comments, by the way. Simply remarkable how prone crashes us. Streaming a 3DS makes it. You know, I'm really glad modern consoles just have like one button you press and you can share it. It's way less of a headache for me and everybody. But yes, this is not the PS4 or whatever, so we had to spend a bit more time rigging this up. Anyway, back here on as soon as it's a Great Ace Attorney or Daigakuten Saiban, the Scarlet Study fan translation, which we've been doing a bit of the last few days. And well, not last few days, the last month or so, really. Yeah, it's a game I had on my to-do list for a while, and I'm in quarantine, and for, well, quite a while to go, because I'm the type that's got long-term medical issues. So in light of that, here's a very long-term series where I play all the Ace Attorney games, you know? Might as well make the most of all that time indoors, or whatever. Yeah, so, we've got a couple of viewers on the stream now, according to my counter. Hopefully, that's not going to give me drama when I try booting the game back up. Alright, I believe we can get audio going. Can we get video, though? Whoop. Hey, just as we go. There we go. And that was the Scarlet Study screen, Capcom, support the official release, etc., etc. Alright, so when last we left our heroes, we're the scene that looks like, the title screen looks like now, on a ship, solving a crime that we've been accused of once again. If you remember the first case, this is like part 5 of this stream now. You can find the previous parts on our YouTube channel if you've not seen them, if you're just tuning in for the first time. Or I mean, it's on the YouTube channel if you're seeing it there. Yeah, just check the playlist, it'll probably be in one of those that we'll have. Yeah, so... last time, in the last case before this one, we were accused of murder and had to defend ourselves as a mere student of the arts or something. I'm not, our major isn't entirely, but we're definitely just a student, and we managed to defend ourselves on a murder charge. And then about 2 weeks later, after getting on board a ship with our hunky boyfriend on his way to England, just sneaking on board his cabin in a totally hot romantic escapade, our friend who is a boy, Asogi, has tragically died, leaving us to solve the case once again, as we are once more improbably accused of murder. But whereas last time we were accused of murder by being set up by some bitch, you can go see that one. Oh hey Erica, anyone, what's up? This time we have been accused by a rather famous literary character that some of you may be familiar with. And if you've seen the first case, you're probably anticipating it. And if you've seen the last stream, you've already seen this friend. So let's just load in here and get a look at him. It's Sherlock Holmes! And he's accused us of murder because he's a fucking asshole. Even though Asogi's totally our hot, cool boyfriend who's super dependable, and Naruhodo would never hurt him. It's just the way it is, I guess. Anyway, have you heard anything in regards to the incident, Sherlock Holmes? You didn't say that part out loud. Yeah, no, the shorter the delays the better, you know. My, have I heard anything? When I'm reading her, I just kind of saved it in the middle of some dialogue here. But I mean, that's good for just warming up, because with Holmes, you gotta get into the most asshole-ish tone of voice you can manage. You just gotta have to be totally sure of yourself. Well, I only drew out the culprit lurking in this cabin and discovered what he was hiding. You do realize that you're speaking with the great detective Sherlock Holmes, right? I do, yes. Wait, then... he's the one to blame for the mess I'm in? This morning, after I realized that something was wrong in the cabin, I called for the sailor's help in opening the door. Sorry, I'm just pouring myself some tea. Because the way you, both keep your voice up as a streamer and stay in character for this very British game of detectives is to just intermittently drink tea. And whenever you run out of tea, that's a good point to stop, I guess. Yeah, so... yes, the sailors set themselves to their work, and the great detectives bated his breath. That's right! It was I, Sherlock Holmes, who found you at the scene of the crime. And dare I say, those handcuffs compliment you quite nicely. Ah. Well, whatever else may have happened, two truths dawned on me at that moment in time. Two truths. Oh yeah, we're questioning him. Hey dudes, now you've introduced yourself, please tell me why you're like... why you're cute. Oh, there's always time for flirting with Sherlock. Mr. Holmes, can you elaborate, please? What are the two truths you realized this morning when you were in the cabin? Ah, let me be more precise. They are two truths that I pieced together in a single instant. Let's put it that way. I see. Please tell me more. Very well. The two truths I deduced from the state of this cabin. 1. The culprit could not have escaped, as it was a locked room incident! Remember that. We're doing a lot of locked room incidents. Also, here's my audio, because I shifted it around. Whatever. I always ask that stream when I'm already streaming. And 2. The victim was Russian, and he was killed after falling out with his comrades. Please hold on for a moment. Why Russian? Why, that's easy enough. The message left by the victim on the floor. Take a look. Whatever these symbols, I don't know how to pronounce these, I don't know any this deck, obviously. I mean, not obviously, but I am an ignorant person who only speaks English and a little bit of French and German very badly, that's about it. And by very badly, I mean I'm pretty sure I failed all my tests. So, not like I was going to go too well, I don't fucking know shit. Anyway. Casimir wrote his dying message in Russian? Yeah, I'm with you, Sister 2. Why would Casimir write his dying message in Russian? In his final moments, his native tongue was the first to come to mind. Thus, he is Russian! Ah, so he's Russian now. Oh yeah, if you missed it last time, Sherlock also accused us of being Russian. Specifically, I doubt it'll be in the chat log anymore because it's a fair bit back actually, so I won't bother looking for it. He was like, I've got you figured out. You're a Russian refugee. You're a leader of an outfit of rebels. You've killed 16 people and you're on your way to destroy the Crystal Tower in London. I've got you, bitch. And you're like, what are you talking about? Initially, I worked under the assumption... Oh. Your boyfriend's dead, so what makes you single? Oh, God. I mean, let's not talk about Holmes' boyfriend, because, that first case. Initially, I worked under the assumption that the culprit's name was Wardrobe. However, that was your assumption. Out of precaution, I opened the actual wardrobe in order to verify the situation for myself. And that was where Naruhodo was sleeping, right? Just so, inside was a slumbering Russian, the true culprit. In other words, you. Jeez. Well, when we first walked into the room, Sherlock was like wearing those goggles and his... No, I was about to explain the function of the goggles since they seem to be some sort of spectrometer. But in terms of like the function of like him pulling those things down, you know what? I have no idea. Are there any other Russians I need to know about? You're wearing the same attire as the victim, ergo you were comrades! If memory serves, that's certainly the type of clothing that Russians are known to wear. What? The student uniform has actually been Russian clothing all this time? I'm absolutely sure that the great detective's memory is dead wrong there. Shit, maybe. The hidden straps on the hat to better support the goggles while being fashionable. Yes, I took a photograph earlier to avoid any tampering with the words on the floor. Russia was absolutely not communist yet. This is like no one knows the exact date this game is set in because it's like, I mean, Sherlock Holmes is here, so it's obviously not historically accurate since Sherlock Holmes is not a historical figure. He's a fucking fictional character. But like, it is like around like the 1900s or like the end of the 1800s at the start. It's around 1900, etc. Or it's before World War I, that's for sure. It ain't fucking communist. He did accuse Naruhodo of being a revolutionary. A photograph taken of the victim's corpse before it was transported out of the room. By the time I opened my... I mean, I was looking up the timeline on the wiki, but after spending so long assembling, like, the Ace Attorney chronological playlist of the cases we're going to be playing throughout this very long playthrough of all the cases in chronological order, and trying to avoid the timeline for the sake of spoilers, I will not bother, I guess. You know, we've got... I mean, I don't normally care about spoilers, but it's a mystery game, etc., blah, blah, blah. By the time I opened my eyes, Asuoki's body was already gone. This is my first time seeing him in this state with my own eyes. Heavy. I mean, there's revolutions in countries, but it does seem like they are like borrowing from a certain aesthetic that didn't still exist yet, but I don't know. Certainly translation using comrade so much seems like a bit inaccurate, but I don't know how it is in the original Japanese. This is a fan translation. Oh, you're alright now, Naruhodo? Yes, I'll be fine. I just saw my not boyfriend dead. Crime scene photograph has been filed in the court record. Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right, Mr. Holmes. Yes, what do you need? Speaking of Russia, didn't you say this earlier? Sherlock's canon birth years 1854 to 1888. Yeah. Yeah, 1888 sounds like about right. Like, I didn't study the 1800s in England so much as a little bit in Scotland, but like, I don't know, it seems like more accurate than it. Like, it's definitely pre-war and like pre-communist revolution, that's for sure. I mean, I'm terrible at my history beyond like what I was taught in high school. But speaking of Russia, didn't you say this earlier? That I'm a Russian and a refugee and a cruel revolutionary or something? Ah yes, that was the truth was about by my logic. Could you maybe elaborate about that seamlessly careless whisper? Russian letters, of course, gladly! Like I said, I'm not Russian. I put that earlier theory of yours. The one that's about me? On a journey to a foreign land with a predicament... on a journey to a foreign land with a predicament facing you. Is that the one? Yes, that's right. Please explain all the other parts of what you said too. The Russian refugee, the revolutionary, the assassination of the 16 people. Ah, that. Well, it's a simple theory, truthfully. Here is this morning's newspaper. The front page headline reads as follows. Revolutionary Dmitry Demoglatsky flees Russia, believed to be en route to Shanghai. This ship made port in Shanghai yesterday, and last night a Russian was killed. Since when did Asaogi turn into a Russian? Kazuma may have been mistaken for a Russian due to the words he left on the floor. Therefore, in conclusion, the culprit of this crime must be the heartless revolutionary. Having had his own identity exposed in the paper, he murdered his fellow refugee. In summation, you are he, Mr. Dmitri Demiglaski himself! No, no, no. I mean, first of all, you don't even look remotely similar. Look at his face and look at mine. I'm a soft boy. I don't even have beard. I'm Naruhodo, your baby boy. Well, nonetheless, the fact remains that you are a terrible revolutionary. I mean, I'm bad at revolutions. Does that count? After all, isn't it likely that a revolutionary would have revolutionized his own face? That's your argument? By the way, your name isn't listed in the passenger list from embarkment either. Well, he's right about that part. I am a stowaway after all. So then, what about the killing of the 16 people in this Crystal Tower business? Ah, right! The fact is, all of that information is contained within this front page article. Your true occupation and your nefarious deeds, my good fellow, I know them all! Dmitri Demiglaski himself was quoted as saying all these things, there can be no doubt! So, a revolutionary willingly agreed to an interview with a newspaper. Wait, so what about the first thing you said, that part about returning from Afghanistan? Oh, that's like my catchphrase! That too is written here, clear state. It says that you just returned from a string of destructive acts in that country. Honestly, I've never even heard of this Afghanistan. Like, the iconic example of Holmes' cold reading is always like his first introduction to Watson, where he's like, I see you've just returned from Afghanistan. And Watson's like, how could you possibly know that? I didn't even talk to you. But in this case, he just goes up to Naruhodo and is like, I see you've just returned from Afghanistan. And he's like, I've never been to Afghanistan. What are you talking about? I don't know. He just seems like a really fake person, but like he's supposed to be the real Sherlock Holmes. It's... Well, rude of me. Allow me to give you this newspaper sign of acquaintance. Alright. Thank you. I've already finished reading it after all, and discarding would be troublesome. The revolutionary article has been filed in the court record. Come to think of it, the article on the back page is also rather fascinating. On the back, feel free to read it if you wish. Who knows, you might just become a Russian connoisseur! A Russian newspaper, huh? Too bad I don't know how to read it. But before I already have it. But since I already have it, I shall look at the article on the back. Why don't we have a look at the article on the back? Boop. Did you notice something, Naruhodo? No, I was just wondering what this article on the back page was about. I haven't the slightest clue. I can't read a single letter. I can't read it either. But judging from the feeling getting from this photo, it looks like this might be about some sort of beautiful ballerina. Yes, quite beautiful. This is perhaps the kind of woman who strikes your fancy. I'm not sure how to respond to that, because I, Naruhodo, am a gamer. You're quite a discerning eye for that article to catch your attention. Hi, I'm Sherlock and I'm also gay. Eh? If I may, allow me to explain what the article is about. Please do. He just popped up out of nowhere. He's in my examination screen. This article is about a disappearance that occurred at some time last night. Beautiful flower of the prestigious Novovich Ballet Company goes missing. A lone girl was found missing during a ballet performance in Shanghai. There was a beautiful young ballerina named Nikomina Borchevich. It's hard to remember the names of Russian people. That's an international adventure, Naruhodo. You're going to get used to it. I mean, Sherlock Holmes is also a weird name if you've never fucking heard of him before, so It seems that the disappearance from her dressing room, still wearing her costume, which apparently included a tiara set with gems valued at 20,000 rubles. How much money is 20,000 rubles? I can't begin to guess, but surely it's more money we could possibly dream of. Suzu's eyes are shining. Since the tiara is property of the ballet, its owner is on the brink of losing his mind. Well, I can't seem to blame him. On the retrieve of both Miss Nikomina and the tiara, the ballet company requests search warrants for all vessels that are heading towards Britain. Might it be she's defecting as well? Starting to deal with defection is Russia's special. Okay. Okay. I just got. I mean, game. You're the one saying it. Game. You're just like, okay, you're just gonna say Russia's pretty shady. All right. Naruhodo, you shouldn't say things like that. It's very nationalistic and xenophobic. Yeah, well, gotta see more of the world, Naruhodo. Mixing ballerina article. Oh, it's its own piece of evidence now. That's handy. Crime scene photo. What's that last piece of text? What you've investigated. Ooh. By the way, you were inspecting Asoki's desk earlier, weren't you? Asoki? Alright, the victim. Was there anything that stood out to you? Take a good look at the desktop. The victim appears to have been writing something. This is his London travel journal. Now this is London travel journal, that's his handwriting too. Oh, but I don't think it's respectful to read through someone's journals right after they've passed. My. You should have spoken up before I read it! What? You already went ahead and read for it? Of course, despite my appearance, I can read basic Japanese quite well. Is that so? I think he's about to feel the wrath of a Suzuzo toss. Well, aren't you gonna give the great detective a Suzuzo toss for that? Goodness, whatever are you talking about? This is so unfair! I got thrown! You should get thrown too, asshole! Well, all other matters aside, in regards to the victim's journal, the last sentence appears to have suddenly stopped halfway through. What could you have been in the middle of writing? Could you perhaps enlighten me? Huh? Did you just say you could read Japanese? So I did, but like I said, only the basic symbols. For example, I can read the word Harakiri. How's that? Impressive, isn't it? If you say so. But his writing is filled with kanji characters. I wasn't able to read a single one of them. Kanji's hard. This bragging isn't meant to much at all. Excuse me, may I? If you'll allow me to see that, I can read it for you. Ah, yes, then. Please, by all means. There are two sentences written on the last page of the journal. 1 hour and 23 minutes after midnight, I heard a sound like a low whistle. Huh. At 1:23, I heard a whistle. A whistle? Intriguing. Please continue. And the other sentence. 1 hour and 35 minutes after midnight, I saw a speckled band at the air duct. A speckled band? I wonder what that means. I'm not sure. I've never heard of it before. At the air duct? Then I would suspect... Oh, here we go. It must be none other than the air duct which connects to the adjacent cabin. The adjacent cabin, huh? Asoki's journal has been filed in the court record. I think he's about to do a seduction, which is going to be hilarious. Everyone get ready for it. Now then, I must excuse myself. If I may ask, where might you be heading? Or maybe he's not. To be frank, I'm a bit curious about the victim's journal. I feel it'll be worth investigating. I'll get sick if I just stand around. Could it be that you are intending to go back to the adjacent room, the one connected to the air duct? Without a mystery, a great detective assistance is worthless and sorrowful. And rest assured, I grant you my word that the truth will become clear. Oh, I can't do... Wait... You mean Robert Downey Jr.? I can't do Robert Downey Jr. What? Wait. I refuse. Although that one Iron Man, the Sherlock Holmes movie was, fun. If weird. Psychic combat was a thing. I don't think we're going to see psychic combat in this one, sadly, where Sherlock does a mind battle, but it'd be funny. As assured, I grant you the word that the truth will become clear soon enough. Excuse me, do you mind if we joined you? What was the Robert Downey Jr. thing was about, by the way? I don't really know. Anyway. That'll be a tad difficult, you see. Huh? Why is that? Why are you even asking me? Just take a look at your hands. These handcuffs, huh? After all, you were the suspect in this murder. At this moment, are you not? What do you mean by that? Please don't act like this doesn't concern you. You're the one who accused me in the first place. Oh? What are you talking about? I don't recall ever uttering a single word implying you were the culprit. I don't recall ever uttering a single word implying you were the culprit. No, you did! It wasn't even that long ago. Now, aren't you a strange one? Just why would I say something like that? I think I'm getting gaslit by Sherlock Holmes here. Me accuse you of murder? What? Pfft. But Mr. Holmes, I'm rather certain you did. Hmm? Really? That's queer. Which is awesome, because queer stuff's cool. You really don't have the look of a criminal after all. And he was looking right in my eyes when he accused me. Well, I suppose it's fine. This is this, and that is that, as the saying goes. What do you mean? In other words, it's like this. The culprit should act like a culprit. Just roll over and give up. That was beyond cruel. Unbelievable. That great detective just ran off, laughing all the while. Come now, Naruhodo. What are you just standing around for? Huh? The two of us have to check the cabin next door as well. With all due haste. Speaking of voices, how does my voice sound? Do I sound like Robert Downey Jr.? Is that what the comment's for? Kazuma left his final lead for us even as he lay dying. Oh, good. Thank you. Meanwhile, would you rather just roll over and give up? Everyone's so mean to me. Oh, okay. If you say so. Anyway. In any case, it seems there are still things worth investigating in this room. Let's continue our investigation and wait for our chance to move on to the adjacent room. Yes, let's. Even in this state, there will still be something I can do. Perhaps for Oki's sake, I need to do whatever it takes to forge a new path forward. I don't particularly want to sound like Robert Downey Jr., so I'm glad. I'll talk to this guy. Excuse me, may I have a moment of your time? Thank you. I don't know why that set me off. I just did not understand the comment, it just got in my head. What do you want? Okay, shut up. No, you don't have to praise me. actually have one thing to ask, a favor I have to request. Would you please allow me to investigate outside of this cabin? I've heard that Japanese don't tell jokes, but it looks like my sources were wrong. Huh? The criminal himself telling me to let him escape? That's a really funny joke, friend. We're deep in the middle of the ocean. There's no possible way for me to escape. Regardless, you're not leaving this room until we reach port and hand you over to the local police. Do you understand? I understand. Also, there's no point in asking the sailor for anything. Does that actually have text we can read? No, it's all Russian. Okay. I'm a bit lost now. Hey, can we get through? When we rushed here earlier, this door had been bolted tight from the inside. It's just a small, simple hole, but it'd be possible to break in or out as long as it's right in place. Given the evidence so far, I don't blame Sisto for doubting me. I can feel Sisto's glare burning into the back of my neck. Say, do you ever read mystery novels? This is the part where you use a needle and a thread to bolt the door from the inside. An ingenious trick indeed. Yes, I do love reading mystery novels. But since all the doors and general surroundings in the ship are made of iron, that trick couldn't work here. Needles and thread can't cut through iron. Now our glare feels like the needle sticking into me. Okay, what's left to do in this room even? Like, I thought I'd fully examined everything when Sherlock popped up, but like, it won't let me leave now. Oh, it will. Thanks to the great detective, now it's going to be even harder to get out of this cabin. Okay, let's see. Let's see. There's something. There's nothing to do but keep looking around for some useful clues of information. Just trying to think of like what's going on. Oh wait, no, I already clicked the move. There's nothing to do but keep looking. Okay, so it won't let me select move. It just popped up text and I was like, we can't move. Yeah, we got fucking figure shit. Wait, let me look at that text closely. It's even hard to get out of the cabin. There's nothing to do but keep looking around. Okay, just keep looking. Just keep looking. Oh, here's a thing we haven't looked at before. The SS Claire's ship regulations are posted here in this placard. The summons against a list of requests from the captains of the passengers. Do not store any dangerous goods such as weapons or animals in the cabins. Well, why are you staring at me like that? No, it's nothing. I was just thinking, are you more of a weapon or an animal? Hang on, just like try to get something build up here. Okay, yes. So, this happened to cross my mind for a second. Either way, you can still mark me off as a forbidden possession. I guess what? Forbidden possession, Naruhodo. I mean, he was smuggled in here. Snuggled in here. Huh? Look over there. It's that sailor. He wasn't here just a little while ago. That's exactly what I thought. If you have any questions, perhaps you should see what he has to say. He might shout at me again, but I guess he should give it a shot. He's in front of the sign we were just looking at. He's materialized there. What's the matter, Naruhodo? Ah, nothing. It's just that the sailor standing over there by the door. Something with this shot with the composition of, like, being able to have, like, Suzuto here and also having, like, two people in the background isn't something you usually see from Ace Attorney games, because usually it's just, like, the one person in the center of the screen. So I like them being able to do a bit more with the cinematography with, like, these models and whatnot. It's, like, cool. I don't know. For some reason, I feel like I've seen him somewhere before. Now that you mention it, he does look a bit familiar. Hello, excuse me. Yes, can I help you with something? I definitely recognize that face. There's no doubt. Why, if it isn't Detective Hosonaga, we have like 2 detectives here or something. Yup. It's Giselle Brett's theme just because that's the one from that case, I guess. Or at least I don't know if it is Giselle Brett. I don't know the names of all the soundtrack items. It's been some time. Why are you here at a place like this? I could ask you the same question. I was so astonished that my heart stopped beating. Are you sure you didn't mean to say I thought my heart was going to stop beating? I've infiltrated the ship under special orders. Again. You really enjoy infiltrating, don't you? If it's within my order to do so, allow me to assist you in any way I can. It's just like trained into him to be a waiter, I guess. Yeah, he's just still standing the same way even though he's a sailor or whatever. The detective just might be key to overturn this dire situation. Cop, you gotta help us take down Sherlock Holmes. Oh, I hate that guy, sure. So what are your special orders this time around? Moreover, why are you dressed like that? I am terribly sorry. Huh? All the fault for this incident lies squarely upon my shoulders. What do you mean, detective? My special orders were to guard Asogi. The arrangements were made by Secretary Jigoku of the Ministry of Justice. I was to protect him from possible assassins so that he might reach Britannia unharmed. Assassins? He was in that much danger? I do not know for sure, but what I do know is, currently there is much tension between the empires of the East and West. The Secretary of the Ministry told me to take every possible contingency into account. How could this be? Is it really possible? Kazuma assassinated? Unlike most escort missions, I wasn't able to publicly divulge my identity as a bodyguard. Instead, I was forced to board the ship under the guise of a waiter. I see. From dawn till dusk, I kept watch over Asogi until he retired to his cabin each night. And to think, during a few hours when I was not keeping my vigil, this happened. And so, for my own complacency, I allowed him to die. I have failed in my duty. I am no longer worthy of showing my face to either of you. I'm so sorry. Detective Hosonaga. I mean, that makes sense. That guy's scary. If you... Might there be anything I can do to help make amends for this catastrophic failure? If so, please tell me how I can be of service. Right now, we're trying to investigate Asogi's death. I suspected as much. I assume that means you aren't actually the culprit then. Of course not. We'd like to move to the cabin next door and investigate things there as well. Are you able to grant me approval to leave this room? I cannot. My apologies. Huh? At present, you are considered to be a threat to the other passengers. If you were to attempt to leave this cabin for any reason, that rowdy sailor would lift you up by the scruff of your neck and toss you right back in. All because they think I'm a stowaway who murdered one of my own countrymen. But there may be one chance. Have you anything persuasive I could use to help you move a bit more freely? What would be persuasive, detective? If I had something that could provide a reason for you to investigate your cabin, then I would give my very life if only to persuade the captain. But that seems a little... I can think of only one method that will work. Huh? What is it? The same method used on me earlier. You presented evidence to support the argument you were trying to make. Presenting evidence? You should already be familiar with it from your time in the courtroom. Just highlight the item you want, and touch the present button. It's as easy as that. Now, show Detective Osanaga something that might persuade the captain. Something that will give us a reason to investigate the cabin next door. It's not like we want to barge in there for no reason. Something must support our logic. Just find the right evidence and touch present like Suso said. Let's give it a try. I believe it'd be this. And this is... It's Asogi's journal. Before Kazuma passed away, he left behind some perplexing words. Perplexing? In what way? In his journal he wrote, I saw a speckled band at the air duct. A speckled band? Perplexing words indeed. We still don't understand the meaning of those words hold, but the curious thing is... Ah, yes, the air duct, I presume. You live up to your title, detective. The air duct connects directly to the cabin next door. If we investigate that air duct, we might just figure out what this speckled band is. I suppose that's proof enough. Huh? At the moment, I must stay here in this cabin. Until this ship reaches the next port, I must remain on the watch at the crime scene. And these are the captain's orders. Therefore, I have no other option than to leave the investigation to the two of you. Really? While I cannot remove your handcuffs, you may move freely about the first class area. But, are you sure it'll be alright? After all, the captain's orders were... Do not worry, I'll keep my promise. I'll put my life on the line to persuade the captain. In the end, I owe Asogi at least that much after my failure to protect him. Thank you very much, detective. Shall we be off then, Naruhodo? If you touch the move button, we can leave the cabin. The move button, huh? Alright, let's try it out. Finally, I'm out of that cabin. Still, I'm a little surprised. The corridor out here is narrower than you'd expect, don't you think? It is, isn't it? Kazuma was an exchange student sent out by the Japanese government. He was given one of the finest rooms aboard, a first-class cabin. If you're wondering, my third-class cabin is about half the size of Kazuma's. That's a pretty cruel treatment you're getting there. Oh, take a look over there. There's an incredibly strong-looking sailor sitting on guard. That door connects to the second-class cabins. I would think that the sailor is on watch to prevent suspicious individuals from passing. Suspicious individuals? In other words, people like me. I can't help but notice that, though we've been aboard for half a month. Your eyes shine as though you're seeing all of this for the first time. That's because I am, after all. I was a stowaway. I was packed up in Hasogi's trunk during embarkment. Since then, I've been crammed in that wardrobe until today. That must have been truly terrible indeed. Don't look at me like that, please. Oh wait, am I supposed to examine the doors? Here it is. This is the cabin adjacent to Hasogi's, one of the connecting air ducts. And that air duct was where Kazuma saw the speckled band, apparently. We still might be able to solve that mystery. Let's try and talk to whoever's inside. Oh, hello. Hi. Nice muscles. Please excuse us? There's some business we need to attend to in that cabin, you see. He was, though. He says nothing, but his eyes cry out, "Do not open." That's the same thing I wrote on that slip of paper I found Asoki stuck in the wardrobe. Sometimes eyes speak louder than words, I suppose. Well, I would wager that we won't be allowed to visit the cabin anytime in the near future. Yeah, that is inconvenient. But that's the only place we're supposed to go. Dude, talk to us. Excuse me, may I have a moment? Oh, look, it's a stowaway murderer. Well, that was a nice way for him to crush my spirits right off the bat. If you want to talk to you, perhaps you'd be willing to speak with me. Good morning, sir. May I ask you a few questions? Oh, look, it's a cheap servant girl that was stuffed in the third class of the other foreigners. I see I'm a target for his abuse as well. Sounds like the sailor didn't wake up on the right side of the bunk today, huh? Stop calling me sailor. But it's your name, it says so in the text. I'm senior crewman Mitrov Stroganov. Even though he clearly hates us, I guess we should still try to speak with him. Mr. Stroganov, can you tell me more about the first class area? This is where the highest class of cabins are. A corridor connects each one. Highest class? Could you tell us more? Only certain people use rooms. Public figures, kings traveling in secret, rich people. Important people, so I am here as guard. Kings, that's really impressive. But stowaway hides in one of these cabins on my watch. If I could, I would throw you into the ocean right now and rest easy. Please forgive me. If I may ask a question, is anyone currently staying in the cabin next to Kazuma Asogi's? So, what was it just now? It sounds like da to me. It means yes in Russian, or maybe it means no. So why are those two, I guess? What a great cultural exchange. Can't let you visit other passengers' rooms just because you want to. That means the cabin next door isn't empty, there must be a passenger inside. Interesting. So you can tell us anything about the passenger who is staying in the cabinet at Asogi's? Name is Grimsby Roylott. He is upstanding old gentleman from the west. A gentleman from the west, huh? Do not bother him with pesky questions. He is knowing nothing of the student's murder. How are you able to assert that so confidently? Mr. Grimsby Roylott is a respectable western man. Why would you... Okay, wow. Why would you care about Lily's... Okay. Harsh words. Never get into the territory of people just being like racist, abusive assholes who aren't necessarily a murderer. He might just be a big, scary man who we're dependent on for security. Thank you, big, scary white man. By the way, where did Mr. Voilup board the ship? You were not needing that information. Now that I'm thinking about it, from the very start of the voyage, right up until this conversation, I've never seen or heard so much as a single hint of that cabin being occupied. If the gentleman you speak of is staying in a first-class cabin, that would mean... He must be a very important person indeed, is that correct? You are not needing that information. Mr. Shogunov, have you been on watch here for the entire voyage so far? Yes, I'm keeping suspicious people like you from running around ship. Excuse me, but do you know anything about the incident last night? It's very sad what happened to students. It's like, they have like, they're doing a thing in this translation of like, transcribing his accent, so I'm just kind of like playing into it, but I feel like, oh yes, he's this thing. I'm like, okay. It reminds me of like the broken text on like that one dude from like Trials and Tribulations where it's like, I don't know what's going with it. Anyway, going by what you just said, you must have been standing guard here last night too, right? Of course. Then during that time, did you see anything out of the ordinary? Hit! I know that's not what's actually being said, but in English characters it looks like he just shouts, HIT! Gonna get those heterosexuals. Suzuto? From the sound of it, I think he said, Niet. Everything was normal last night, nothing unusual. What about any odd noises, or anyone who looked suspicious? Oh, he looked to the side there, did you see that? He just looked to the side there at that line. I saw that, you motherfucker. No, everything was normal. Sorry. I wonder though. Was it just me or did Mr. Stroganoff glance away for a second there? If this was Apollo Justice, my fucking bracelet would be burning right now. It's time to end this little chat. Huh? I must make routine report for the captain. You should return to cabin as well. Alright. Doors to second-class cabins is firmly locked and secured. Do not bother trying to escape. It is not possible. I understand. I'm not entirely sure. I think it's... Okay. I think Naruhodo's an English student and he can speak English well, and like, so etc. So it might be that the shared language is English, it might be Japanese, or like, we're definitely not speaking Russian for the most part, so I don't know exactly. But I mean, I guess in the original Japanese, he would probably just be speaking in Japanese text, so I guess it's just assumed he's speaking Japanese. Now let's investigate to our heart's content. Absolutely. It's one of those things where it's like, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, what language are they all speaking? Like, people make like fucking video series like that. I don't know the fucking details. Oh. He's like, huh, you're not getting to the second class cabins. Like, I don't need to, I'm going this way now. Here it is. This is a cabin adjacent to Asugi, somewhere with the connecting air duct. Just doing a little save, because we've been playing for an hour, etc. And that air duct was where Kazuma saw the speckled band, apparently. We still might be able to solve that mystery. Let's try to talk to whoever's inside. Knock, knock, knock. He didn't answer. I haven't been able to ask any questions about the room right now. Yeah, this is inconvenient. Just bash your way in there. What? You're saying we can't go in because just barge it. It's fine. Is that a mousetrap? My favourite board game. No. This is a trap that used to catch rodents. Well, hey, I've seen these in Japan too. This one looks like it uses bait and a sticky substance I've never seen before, though. Let's see. The bait is a fruit called cheese, a Western staple made from fermented milk. Cheese? I wonder what it tastes like. I see that curiously. Don't try to eat it, or you'll only get your fingers pinched. Aw, guess I should just give up. Are you actually planning to eat it? Well, yeah, all I ever got to eat was Asawoki's leftovers, after all. I was always jammed in that wardrobe with an empty stomach. I'll give you some snacks I brought later on. What's this? It's nice and brown, and it adds a nice, cute touch to the hallway. It's an emergency alarm. Please don't touch it. Emergency alarm? Look right here. There's a notice. Please press button only in case of emergency. The button sends an alarm to the entire ship, signaling the engines to temporarily stop. It makes the engine stop? Maybe. What are you doing? Get away from that! What? How is that supposed? Oh, how is that? What's happening to me right now? Not an emergency. That clearly isn't the kind of emergency they mean. If you push that button and cause a panic, we have a real emergency on our hands. Naruto was like, oh, you push that button in case of emergency? You know what? Being arrested is emergency. Oh god. I'd be so funny if the game gave you the option to just fucking pull it anyway, but anyway. I wish you could just stop everything happening to me right now. Please don't inconvenience the entire ship just because you're upset. Hey! Oh, there we go. What was that voice just now? It came from inside the cabin. That could only be the tearful, innocent scream of a maiden in distress. Out of the way, you lot! What? I shall kick down the door post haste! Mr. Holmes! Right now, I'm absolutely brimming with the intense desire to kick down this door! It's a great costume. Please, stay your leg for just a moment. This door appears to be unlocked. Seriously? Well then, where exactly am I supposed to vent this urge to kick something? That aside, let's go inside. This is an emergency. There's no time to waste. Ninth of January, SS O'Clair. First class, cabin 2. Oh! What do you want with me? That Western gentleman appears to be Russian. Excuse me, we just heard what sounded like a young woman's scream coming from this room. Scream? Stop your silly talk! As you can see, I'm the only one in this cabin, no one else! He's right, this old guy is the only person in here. I wonder what's that scream then? Leave now, all of you, now! Hang on, I'm just gonna... Huh. Pardon me, Mr. Grimsby Roylott, I presume? Yes, I'm Roylott. Who are you? Sherlock Holmes, the one and only. Surely my reputation precedes me. Never heard of him. I'm the great detective. My name adorns the magazine covers all across the British Empire. And so I'm certain no matter of suspicious individual as you... I'm certainly no matter of suspicious individual as you can see. He's using that magazine as some kind of business card. Detective, even more suspicious. I don't talk to cops. We are certain we heard a scream originating from this very room. Is it readily apparent that no one is hidden within your... It is readily apparent that no one is hidden within your wardrobe, however. If it's not too much of a bother, may I open that small trunk over there? Stop this silliness! This trunk is very, very small. You think there's a person inside? Well, if recent trends indicate anything, backing people into luggage is quite popular. Please stop looking at me. Oh. Ah! Did you see that, Naruhodo? Yeah, I think I did. The trunk moved, didn't it? All of you, leave, now. If you do not, I call the sailors! Grimsby Royal, he stayed in the cabin directly next to Asogi's. This Russian man has to be hiding something. Yes, my thoughts exactly. I'm going to take a quick reprieve, one moment before I get into confronting this gentleman. I'll be right back on the stream in about just a minute here. Just gonna grab some more water. And I return! Hi everybody, sorry about that. I was watching ATQ the other day, or like one of the videos they post on their channel. I don't really watch them that much, but I've been tuning in a bit more recently. I just saw they're like, okay, it's been an hour, now I have to take a little stream break. And I was like, that's a good idea. I too have fatigue issues and stuff, so it helps to pace yourself just to get up and walk and grab some water every now and then. Anyway, yes, my thoughts exactly. Let's find some sort of lead before that sailor returns. Although, of course, they like run ads during that time, and I did not have an ad ready because they don't really run ads on this so much. So I did not think of that ahead. But, you know, stretch your legs a little. It's good. Let's find some sort of lead before that sailor returns. Sherlock, what you doing? I mean, you have to be very flexible. Possibly a child. Hey, you! Yeek! Do not snoop around other people's rooms. Go away! Very well, could you listen inside that trunk first? No! Ah, it's no use. Looks like it. There's nothing we can really do in this situation, is there? Doesn't seem like it, no. Must be some way to convince him. Maybe that great detective can help? Alright, the solution in this situation is not to do anything else except click on Sherlock, I think. What's your thoughts, Sherlock? Are you about to do something amazingly silly? Excuse me, Mr. Sherlock Holmes? I mean, you're already silly enough sitting in that wardrobe. Ah, please, just Mr. Holmes is fine. That's not any less formal. Mr. Holmes, what are you doing in here anyway? Oh, not much. Just making myself at home. At home? I'm just passing time imagining how it must have felt to be crammed in here, waiting for the moment when the two of you beseech to aid the great detective. What? Well now, it seems that the time has finally come. Am I mistaken? Well, he's certainly not wrong. Now look over here. That Russian gentleman, Mr. Royalist, is clearly hiding something. And what would be the best countermeasure against a Russian who's hiding something? I don't know about it being specifically a Russian, but for someone who's hiding something, it would be... The answer, of course, would be the truth. Holmes seems to exhibit a particular hatred of Russians in this case. I think it might just be because he's on a boat full of Russians and they're the only people to really suspect, really. I don't know. Maybe that's just it. It's just like when you're watching Space Force and everyone's like, oh, those Russians. I'm like, I don't know. I don't like liberal TV. Isn't applied to Russians alone. Right. Yeah, he admits it doesn't apply to Russians alone. You can also use the truth on other things. But I wonder what the Russian man would do if his hidden secret would be exposed. Probably the same thing anyone else does if exposed. Wouldn't it be interesting to find out? Would love to, Mr. Holmes. Now allow me to show you something intriguing. Something like a great detective could do. A great detective's great deduction. Guaranteed. No red scare whatsoever. This is entirely logical. I mean, it can't even be the red scare since it's like pre-revolution right now. Right? I will stop harping on that so much, although frankly the game keeps bringing up the geopolitics of this place, so I mean, I kind of have to? I don't know. I'm not a sword that's very well equipped to comment on things, but I'm just like, I feel like, you know, it's worthy of a comment, because as you can see, we have here a classic suspicious looking Russian. Different from a non-suspicious looking Russian, in that not all of them suspicious. Jesus Christ, like, so what? Sometimes I'm wondering to myself. Are you suspicious? He's just saying it! Are suspicious people inherently Russian? Or are Russian people inherently suspicious? That's pretty suspicious. Must be right. Holmes is just Democrat Twitter when it's like, I can't figure out why this is happening. It must be Russian bots. Like, I mean, I'm ranting about politics here. It's just like, I don't think either one is the case. Yet now Hodo being the voice of reason, like, Sherlock, you're a weirdo. Oh my god, it's frozen. Don't be freezing in the middle of this scene, come on. I want to hear Holmes' reason for why this is so suspicious. I mean, this guy is brandishing scissors at us, but we did break in here, so like, I want to hear his thoughts. Also, I guess that trunk did move. Alright, resetting. Time to reset again, once more, into the breach as the 3DS crashes. Oh wait, I didn't say, fuck. Shit. Oh no. Oh wait, I did. Yes? Or did I? I guess we'll find out when it reboots. We sure will. Haha. Oh. I mean, thankfully this game has a comprehensive checkpoint system, so in the worst case scenario, it won't take me too long to get back to where we were. Like, there's seriously like fucking 20 checkpoints for every case or something. So it should be okay. I'll click on suspicious man's cabin or whatever the checkpoint header is, and it'll probably take us right to it. Lickety split, no problem. Yeah, so this case so far, what have we accomplished so far in this episode? We got an explanation from Sherlock on why we're suspicious. He presented us with Asogi's journal with his account of hearing a bell and subsequently seeing a speckled band, whatever the fuck that is. I think that's like a phrase that's like from a Sherlock Holmes story that I've not read. It's like one of the iconic things, like, oh, this is Sherlock Holmes and his speckled band. So it's like a callback. It's just supposed to be a bit obscure. It's like, what's he talking about? Speckled band? You know, maybe Sherlock's got some thoughts he's about to give before it crashed. I'm trying to get to like the explosion of Sherlock's Sherlockness, to put it mildly, I guess. Sound back on, connecting video feed. It says Royal's cabin, so that sounds promising. Ah, here we go. See, I did save it. We're good. We're good. I was just being paranoid or whatever. Well, not paranoid, mistaken. I shouldn't use paranoid in that matter. Challenge the ableist expressions in everyday language. Unless you actually are paranoid. I mean, I might be. I don't know. I've not fucking seen a therapist in a bit. So, ableism, fighting it in language is a complicated process for those of us that are disabled. Anyway, if I may add, Mr. Holmes. No matter how much the beard and the dark glasses might seem to suggest it, I'm not sure they're grounds enough to outright label someone as suspicious. In fact, it's not really. Shh! Quiet now! He's very suspicious. Look at his beard and his glasses. Come on. Oh. Dramatic zoom in. Why do you look at me like this? I see. Yes, I understand now. What? At last, the truth becomes clear to me. There is no room for doubt. Now then, Mr. Roylott, I've arrived at 2 conclusions. What do you mean? First, conclusion number 1. Your true identity. Simply put, you are a villain! Okay. You were just about to cut short something very important to you with those scissors. Am I mistaken? Ah. On to conclusion number 2. At this very moment, you have been caught red-handed in the midst of a nefarious deed. By now, you must be shaking under that beard, panicking over if you've already been found out. Am I mistaken? Here it comes, Naruhodo. One of Mr. Holmes' great deductions. Oh, get ready, baby. This is an actual mechanic. The great deductions. Are you ready? The great deductions. I feel like there's some theme song. It has a theme song. What am I talking about? Let's go. Great deductions? Mr. Holmes is a truly incredible talent. With only one look at a person, he can learn anything about them. How in the world? No way, that's impossible. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. I've read that book countless times. I can't believe I'm about to hear one of his great deductions firsthand. Oh, truly, it's like a dream come true. I can't believe it. Mr. Roylott just turned white as a sheet. Somehow it looks like those 2 conclusions hit the mark. How could you possibly know that? Is that what you were about to say? Very well. It's time for all to be revealed. How indeed did this great detective before you arrive at these 2 conclusions? Come along now, shall we embark upon a journey of deduction? What I mean to say is that I'm asking you to tag along with my reasoning. I need someone to do poses with. The game is afoot. Deduction starts. Logic 1. Identity. Conclusion. Let's get to it. Reasoning. Before Mr. Roylott, the mysterious Russian. Behold Mr. Roylott, the mysterious Russian. First, let your eyes be drawn towards this. This oversized pair of scissors sticking out like a sore thumb. Now, just what in the devil are you planning to do with those? With just a little observation, the answer becomes obvious. You intend to cut off your splendid beard with those scissors. Continuing on. Now then, why would you have such an urgent need to cut that magnificent beard? That too is quite obvious, and I have the evidence to back it up. Huh? Oh. Have a look at this morning's newspaper. It contains a rather intriguing article. Oh. Ah, it's frozen mid-deduction. Don't be like that. Oh no. We're just getting to the reasoning. Boo. Okay, well, unfreeze, damn it. It is very stylish. Spoilers for this case is, this is, I said this case was unique. Actually, while I reset, I'm sorry, I'm going to deprive you of the music while I reset here. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this is one of the most unique cases in the entire series because it is one of the only cases in which there is no trial. Like, there's Ace Attorney investigations where, of course, you're not in the courtroom because that's kind of the gimmick or whatever, you're out there in the field. But this is, like, the only one in, like, the semi-main series of, like, this pretty much normal format of, like, okay, investigation, trial, and, like, if there's any element that's missing, it'll be the investigation. It'll just be, like, the trial part that you have to worry about, like, in the intro missions. But no, in this one, they decided to have a whole case out for just a really long investigation phase. And instead of a trial scene of calling it contradictions that way, we're going to be doing this whole thing that the game has unfortunately crashed just in the middle of doing cool deduction attack. Yeah, logic chess. That was in one of the games. Okay, resetting this video for you. Getting the audio back on. Ah, 3DS crash again as I'm just setting up. Boo. This might be our I managed to get like a 3-hour stream out of this thing without barely crashing last time, or not last time, the time before. They can't all be winning streaks like that with the tech. Blah blah blah. Come on, cooperate with me. Anyway, yeah, I find it funny because like while the first time I played the case, I was just like, so when we gonna like, when we get to the point where this whole ship stops and we pull into port to do a trial scene, it just doesn't happen. Okay. We got audio. Can we get video? Video, please. It says you connected to 3DS, but I'm not seeing the stream. Oh gosh, it's just not. Oh, this is a bummer. Eh. I'm not entirely sure this is gonna go, so we might just end it there. I should, oh gosh. I'll keep pushing on, but this is a bit of a goddamn, like, hassle. How many times do I have to reset you? Come on, thing. Yeah, this is, like, the most temperamental of the games because, like, as well as the factor of, like, there's other games able to, like, emulate or for which there's, like, HD PC versions which can easily be played or something. But for this one, accepting like the use of a phone, which would be tougher for me because I'm not set up to do that at all. I'm not that familiar with phones. I hate phones. Then like we're dealing with like a hacked 3DS and a fan patch and all this stuff going on. It's not the most stable setup, but it's the only way I could really figure out to get like footage of this thing. come on. We have audio. You can hear me clicking around here as I just... Give me video feed, please. Finally! Okay, we're back. Alright, get back into it before the whole fucking thing crashes again. In fact, it appears that you too have seen the article of which I speak. I'm going to read the backlog because the game choosing to crash in the middle of this first great deduction is just like bullying Sherlock, if anything. It's like, oh, I have a great rhythm, my theme song, bullshit. You tend to cut the splendid beard of those scissors. Continue on. Now would you have such an urgent need to cut that magnificent beard? That too is quite obvious, and I have the evidence to back it up. Oh, cool, look at this morning's newspaper. It contains a rather intriguing article. In fact, it appears that you two have seen the article which I speak. Thank God for the backlog. Getting us caught up. Surely you must understand by now. The article inside reveals your true identity. The newspaper's revolutionary article. Revolutionary Dmitry Demoglaski flees Russia, believed to be en route to Shanghai. As you can see, the picture clearly depicts the eye-catching beard of yours. Having seen the article, you plan to cut off your beard before the crew found you out. However, since you have yet to do so, your true identity remains clear. You are now the frightful revolutionary Dmitry Demoglaski. Though with that said, I can't say I've ever heard of you. Defected revolutionary. That's our first conclusion. Next we have my second deduction. It seems to me that we have caught you in the act of committing a terrible crime. Oh my god, it's freezing again. I might have to just like start another stream where I just start from the checkpoint and start the whole deduction thing. So I can take it from the top and actually have the rhythm going. Gosh. Oh, I shifted its position. We have some stream. Okay, here we go. As for the proof of that crime, aha, it's right over there, is it not? As I expect. Ah. It appears you have shown your hand, Mr. Roylott. It will not cooperate. It is. I'm just going to say it's bullying Sherlock at this point, because it's like crashing most intensely the more impressive Sherlock tries to be. I don't know. Okay. Please, for DS. Yeah, he's just permanently frozen in this pose because he's too cool. Okay. Well, I'm sorry about the last like 20 minutes of the stream or so, everybody. I'll take it from the top next time and try and figure it out. I cannot get this to fucking work right now. I don't know what I can do really, except to just like reset the whole thing and try again later, where it's hopefully more stable. Just taking a very superstitious approach to technology. Ah well. Okay. Well, thanks for joining us all for a stream if it didn't go that well, everybody. I'll catch you all next time where hopefully we'll be able to actually do this deduction without it completely crashing the game for some reason. And we can figure out his reasoning of why he's just like Sherlock's such a dickhead to everybody, I guess, in the end. I'll see you all in the next girlfriend quest. Yeah. Bye everybody, bye.